Yo, what's going on, everybody? You are watching Vikings Now by Chat Sports. My name is Patrick Siepman, and coming up on today's show, I want to talk about the Vikings quarterback, J.J. McCarthy, and head coach Kevin O'Connell, and pretty much just making the case that everybody needs to take a deep breath and be patient with these guys, and also talk about how JJ stacks up with other quarterbacks in his class throughout their first four starts, because it kind of seems like NFL fans, even Vikings fans, are kind of showing a bias around J.J. McCarthy and not just realizing the reality that he has only played 4 football games. And these other quarterbacks, even a guy like Drake May, struggled throughout their first 4 games. So we'll talk about all that on today's show. Pretty exciting show. Got some takes that I want to get out there for you guys. But if you guys could, hit that subscribe button today. We have a must-win, must-have game this weekend against the Chicago Bears. So we'll be going live an hour before kickoff, old-school watch party that we do here on the channel. So if you guys want to tune in, hit that subscribe button today, and also hit that notification bell where you guys will get a notification on your phone, tablet, whatever it may be, every single time we post a video here. So I do want to get some injury news out there first. Quickly, Ryan Kelly, Viking center, did have his practice window open. So over the next 21 days, we should see him get elevated to the active roster. And then also some bad news here. J.J. McCarthy actually was seen with a bandage on his throwing hand. So that's something we're going to have to monitor. If you guys remember in that Ravens game, he threw a pass and his hand hit the helmet of a Ravens defender. So clearly a little banged up there, but shouldn't be anything, too concerning. So this is a take I want to get out there first. And this is more long-term thinking here with this Vikings franchise. And I think Vikings fans, we at least need to give J.J. McCarthy and Kevin O'Connell, not to the end of this season, but bare minimum, the end of next season. And why do I think that? Because, number one, J.J. McCarthy's 22 years old. I mean, I am now 26 years old. I have grown so much from when I was a 22-year-old just in my personal life, how I handle things. And I'm sure a lot of you guys, can relate to that. But could you imagine being an NFL quarterback just going over and over again, seeing different coverages, seeing different just unique schemes, and just getting more accustomed to the NFL life? Like, this is his 4th time ever doing something where he came from an offense in college with Jim Harbaugh where they're ground and pound, didn't ask JJ to do a whole lot, to Kevin O'Connell, as we know, air raid offense. He gets too pass happy in certain spots. So I just think we just need to be patient, and that's something that we should be excited about. Like, yes, there will be bad times, like the Ravens game, like the Falcons game, where we're sitting there after the game, we're just scratching our heads, but that's part of the process. Like, we knew this was not going to be right away. J.J. McCarthy, he's looking like a top 10 quarterback, but I truly do believe JJ has potential to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and I will stand by that. I will go to war with that, and that's just a take I will not get off of, because this kid's made of the right stuff. He has shown flashes. He's got a super live arm. He's athletic. He has the genetic makeup to be a franchise quarterback. So for people that are just kicking the tires on him and just pretty much ruling him a bust, like, I'm cool with other NFL fans calling him a bust. I could give 2 shits about what they're saying about our quarterback, but Vikings fans, be a little patient here. Like, listen, this franchise has never won a Super Bowl. We have not been to the Super Bowl in, 40 years to this point? Like, just be patient, because what's going to happen if we move off J.J. McCarthy? We're just going to go get another quarterback, and then we're just going to try to bank on him hitting the ground running right away. That's not going to happen. I'd rather stick with what we have now, and that also applies to the head coach, Kevin O'Connell. I'm still a believer in this guy. He has driven me up a freaking wall this season, and I'm sure a lot of you guys have some thoughts on Kevin O'Connell as well, but I still think he's a great head coach. I think he's a great play caller. I think he's got a great culture in that organization, and there will be rough times. Like, to get to the mountaintop, it's not always just a consistent uphill climb. Just like this year, the Vikings are clearly going down from where they were last year. Now, does that mean that KOC has already peaked from last year? I highly doubt that. I think his best football and I have no idea what the hell that just was that popped up, but I still think KOC has a lot of his good football days left ahead of him. I don't think we have sniffed the peak of a Kevin O'Connell-led Minnesota Vikings team, and just be patient with him. And also this, I want to compare J.J. McCarthy's first 4 starts to some other guys. So J.J. McCarthy, 22 years old. Right now he's got a 54% completion percentage, has thrown for 700 yards, 7 touchdowns. He's got 7 turnovers. Let's compare him to the MVP favorite right now, the guy that was drafted 3rd in his class, Drake May last year. He had a record of 1-3, 22 years old as well. a 67% completion percentage, so a huge advantage to Drake May, 750 yards, 7 touchdowns, 6 picks. So JJ, 7 tuds, 7 turnovers. Drake May, 7 touchdowns, 6 turnovers. Also, keep in mind, JJ went against the Atlanta Falcons pass defense, one of the better ones in the league, and he played in Detroit and against the Baltimore Ravens. That could be the Super Bowl. Ravens-Lions, that very well could be the Super Bowl. This guy split against them. He should have beat the Ravens. He did not play his best ball. But point being, just be patient. And also, how about Caleb Williams? Caleb Williams earned his first 4 starts. 2-2 record. He was 23 years old at the time. 62% completion percentage. 787 yards. He only had 3 touchdowns, the 5 turnovers. And now look at Caleb now. He's still looking pretty good. How about Bo Nix? 3 touchdowns, 4 turnovers. Point I'm trying to make here is we're not going to see the final version of J.J. McCarthy, probably not for a couple of years. So just be patient. Go through this process. Like, this should be exciting for fans. And it's always so funny. I had probably my most viral tweet. I tweeted this out after the Falcons game back in week 2. And I said, everybody wants to watch a young quarterback develop until it is time to watch a young quarterback develop, because it's not going to be easy. Like, we're going to have games where we're leaving, even if JJ goes out there and he's terrible against the Bears this weekend and Kevin O'Connell's terrible against the Bears, it's not going to change my thoughts on these guys. I guess would I like to see them get some steady improvement this season? 100%. But it is still his 5th career start going against a tough 6-3 football team in the division. Like, I just don't understand what people want. And also, people comparing him to Sam Darnold. Listen, he was going to get compared to Darnold. We knew that was going to be the situation. But again, Darnold is 28 years old in his physical prime. Like, we know this as, men. We hit our physical primes, I think, at like 28, 29 years old, especially like the mental part of the quarterback game. I think you start hitting that later on in your 20s, early in your 30s. And obviously we've seen other guys like really hit that, like even in their mid-30s. So just be patient with these guys, man. It is it's just a little disappointing. Like us Vikings fans, especially when we had Kirk Cousins, everybody's like, man, I wish we had that young quarterback. I wish we had that franchise guy. Well, now you have it. And now just because a couple of games he doesn't look too good, we're just going to kick the tires? Like, what are we doing? Be patient with him. He is 22 years old. And also, like, if this was a situation where JJ was coming out of college and he was like Bo Nix, where he was 24 years old, has played a lot of football in his career. He was in more pass-heavy offenses in college. Yes, I think that's a different situation. But we also knew JJ, he was a developmental quarterback. Like, this is not something where we thought the results were going to be hitting the ground running right away. We knew this heading into the season. So be patient. He has also had to overcome a torn meniscus and a high ankle sprain. That's tough. Like, that's a lot working against him. He had a kid earlier on this year. So I'm saying this, and I will stand by this, even if the Vikings, even if JJ and Kevin O'Connell lose every single game for the rest of the season and he looks horrible, he is your starting quarterback next season. I will stand by that, and I don't know. I don't know what it is with people thinking that, JJ, if you're already ruling him a bust after 4 games, check yourself. No, I'm not saying he for sure won't be a bust. That is 100% on the table, but I'm banking on him figuring it out because of how he's made in between his ears. He is a sicko competitor. Yes, is him going to alter ego 9 maybe a little corny? It's just who he is. Like, that's his personality. And I would rather ride with a guy who would be maybe a little corny compared to a guy who's maybe too cool to show it. So just be patient with J.J. McCarthy and be patient with Kevin O'Connell. I understand he hasn't been good this year, but I'm banking on KOC adjusting. I don't think, especially with all the short yardage stuff coming out, he knows this. He knows he has to get better. And that's something like we knew KOC, it wasn't just going to be a perfect uphill climb. He's going through it right now. Other teams are starting to figure out what he likes. Jefferson's going through it, but I trust in just the nucleus of this team kind of rallying around together and just, really, buying into each other, buying into that process. And hopefully eventually, probably won't be this year, probably won't be the year after, but who says when J.J. McCarthy isn't 25 years old, he's not one of the best quarterbacks in the league. And how about let's compare him to one of the best quarterbacks in the league, Josh Allen. His completion percentage was the exact same as J.J. throughout the first 4 games. He had less passing yards, and he had 2 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. 6 turnovers total. He took 16 sacks in his first 4 starts. Were Bills fans ready to just jump off the Josh Allen bandwagon? No. So just be patient. I really believe in this guy. I believe in this nucleus of this Vikings team. And that's kind of just the thoughts I wanted to get out here on today's social. You guys let me know your thoughts on J.J. McCarthy, Kevin O'Connell. Love to know your thoughts on this take I had. But appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. As always, let's go Vikes.